Hey, welcome back to my channel Researchers. I hope you guys are doing well. This is Dr. Anshika, and in today's video we are going to discuss about systematic review. First, a brief about systematic review, and then all the steps that are being included in systematic review. Now, why is this topic important to be discussed is firstly that whenever you begin with your PhD or any other research work, you start reading research papers, right? So from that research papers, you can write your own research paper. So this is the major difference between writing a review paper and an empirical paper. Okay, for your empirical paper, you need to collect your primary data, then you put the statistical tools on that, you analyze the data and then write the research paper. Whereas for literature review paper, what do? You are already reading the research paper. You simply collect all the research papers on one specific topic, one specific question, and then summarize it. This is the meaning of simply the systematic review, right? So let's begin with, firstly, let's understand the meaning of systematic review. Systematic review is nothing but simply the study of studies, right? Whatever studies are available on specific topic is the systematic review. You collect all the studies on specific topic. Say I already collected the studies on financial literacy because in my PhD I was working on financial literacy. I tried to collect all the research papers, the reports or any other information on financial literacy and then wrote my paper that is on systematic review. Okay, you guys can check my paper, that is Financial Literacy of Entrepreneurs, a systematic review, that was published in Managerial Finance, and it is Scopus and Emerging Science Citation Index based paper, right? Further, we can see that in systematic review, what do is that you try to collect all the existing evidence based on the specific research question. Using what? Using included and excluded criteria. We are going to discuss this included and excluded criteria. This is very, very important in writing a systematic review, right? So going further, we have certain steps to be followed in a systematic review. Please note that these are not hard and fast rules or the hard and fast steps, right? It is just a brief or just a common practice while writing a systematic review. So first thing we do is we try to frame a question, right? I am going to explain you this with the help of the example also. Let's just understand these steps only first, okay? Then we try to identify the relevant work, alright? And then apply the selection criteria, that is inclusion and exclusion criteria. Then we try to summarize whatever we have found from all the existing research, okay? And then finally interpreting the findings. Okay, now first thing that I told you was that we try to frame the question, isn't it? Okay, so in my study what I did was I did a systematic review on one specific variable, that was financial literacy, right? In this, what all do is your questions need to be based on the current publication or the trends on that topic, that was financial literacy, right? Certain time frame, it should be say from 2010 onwards. Then journals, specific types of journals, that is good index journal, you can use Scopus, okay? Web of Sciences journal, Scopus indexed, Web of Sciences journals. Then you have is authors. In my study I found that certain authors are very important to be included in my study, right? Like Lusardi. So you can see, or you can try to find out who all are the pertinent authors that you need to quote in your paper. Then affiliated countries, which all countries are working in this field, institution, type of study and the economy in which these studies are going on. Right, these were the questions. Moving further, we need to see that which are the influential studies and themes of the research in your domain. Like for example, what I did was I found that financial literacy was linked with financial excess in certain papers. Right, financial excess was there. Then the various authors had studied financial literacy with financial performance. Okay, then next important thing is that how financial literacy has evolved over certain years and what are the recent trends in the research in this area. We need to find it out. This portion can be your introduction part, okay, while writing a systematic review. Then you can answer your unstructured questions also. Okay, so first point over here is based on the population. What I did in my research was I did my systematic review on financial literacy, but on certain population, that was entrepreneurs, right? Then we have the research design, whether I have to see quantitative, qualitative, okay. Then we have number of research designs. I have made a video on research design and I have tried to explain you all the types of research design. I'm going to put the link in the description box. You guys can go and check that out, okay. Then further we have is the interventions and outcomes. For example, I can say that entrepreneurs before financial literacy training and entrepreneurs after financial literacy training. That is your interventions and outcomes. You guys can answer these questions as well, right? One more criteria is the type of study design. What is your study design based on? Alright. Step is the identifying the relevant publications. Okay. So you try to find out all the types of publications and unpublished work, whether it is in computerized form or it is printed, that you need to search. Okay. For that, what you guys can do is that you can do it from databases, certain good databases only. So what are the types of databases? Example, Scopus, okay, then Web of Sciences, beyond that whatever, JSTOR, Elsevier, so on and so forth. So these are the databases for basically your social sciences, right? You can search on these databases about your specific topic. Further we have is the hand searching. What is hand searching? Whatever that has not been published in journals, say conferences paper, right? So how can you do the hand searchings? See, it is very important whenever you read a good research paper, go out for its references that are mentioned. From those references, please try to find out good research papers. This is known as your hand searching. Clear? Okay. Now next is your grey literature. Now what is grey literature? Anything beyond your research journals and conferences that is being published. Say my dissertations, my thesis, whatever is being published is the grey literature. So what is a good source of grey literature in India? It is Shodh Ganga. Okay, Shodh Ganga published what? Thesis and dissertations. One. Then another source can be Google Scholar. Okay. Last but not the least is the experts. That means any publications of reports by good companies or good institutions, you need to note it down. Clear till now? Let's move further. Next thing that you have to do is your apply selection criteria. You can do selection criteria firstly based on simply you can go and visit and see the titles of the research papers, along with that the abstract. If you find the titles catchy and abstract catchy, you can include that paper in your research, right? For this, for example, what I did was that I included all the papers on financial literacy, okay, of entrepreneurs, only entrepreneurs, right? This was my inclusion criteria. Another thing is that you can include your paper based on reading the entire paper, full text paper. If you read your paper and if it prevails to you that it is a good paper, you can include it in your research paper, that is a systematic review, right? So it is also possible that one of the research paper is being published both by Scopus and Web of Sciences. Okay, so I need to delete the duplication of my study. I include only one study from these databases, right? So going further, what do we have is included studies based only on English language. So one of my criteria is English language as well, right? Moving further, we have is screen studies based on years, study design, sample sizes, right? I can include studies after say 2010 till date. This is my inclusion criteria, and exclusion criteria will be studies before 2010. Okay, certain designs, research designs I can include, and sample size and the type of sample. In my case, the sample was entrepreneurs only. Clear? And the last one is the content analysis and duplicate studies. I already discussed with you guys that certain studies might be published in more than one databases. So you need to include only one such papers, right, in your counting. And then you have is your summarizing your evidence. Okay, you synthesize all these studies and try to write the interpretations. Okay, you try to write the interpretation in terms of say narrations, that is qualitative. What do you do in this? You simply write what is the crux of all these studies. Okay, another thing you can do is through the quantitative writing. In this, what is quantitative way of writing the literature review? It is the meta analysis, right? In this, what do? You compare the data from different countries using numbers or the tables, right? And you can also use the statistical techniques on that, right? Once you have done this, last step is the interpreting the findings. Okay, you need to find out something out of your studies, and finally you need to give the recommendations. So this is the way you write the systematic review, and I suggest you guys please go and read one of my papers, that is Financial Literacy of the Entrepreneurs, a systematic review. You will get a lot of insights about how to write a systematic review paper. Okay, so that is it for today guys. I hope you guys have learned something. If yes, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a nice day.